Hey traders, Raghee here, and in this video we're going to talk about a strategy that I use specific to high volatility events when it's usually just a single or very finite number of data points the market is digesting. Initial claims would be one of them, retail sales. One of my favorites is to use crude oil inventory. So yes, while there are oftentimes many numbers that accompany a data release, usually there's a headline number and a response to that, and crude oil is a perfect example. So while there's crude oil and distillates and gas, etc., crude's the main number of that release that the market responds to. Well, going into that 10:30 event, what we like to do is look at the hourly price movement ranges that are sitting above and below for the 10 to 11 o'clock hour, and we put on a fade. In other words, we wait for the market to get to one end or the other of that range, and that's exactly what we did in crude. Now notice it took some time for crude to finally sink down to our initial target at 53.02, and then we had a second target at 75. Once again, notice that I used a major psychological level for one of the targets. The second target was once again using those volatility levels. So that's what this is in here. And the whole thing stems from, at the moment of any kind of event, there is a historical tendency. There's a, going back 6 months or more, there's a tendency for what the market's capable of doing. And what we're doing is we're using the initial, sometimes what I would consider to be overreaction of that event, in this case the 10:30 inventories, to say, look, the market might be over responding to a particular piece of data, and then we'll use a time-based, volatility-based tool to recognize where the exhaustion is going to be. And that's what this is. It's exhaustion that we're capitalizing on. So think about what kind of exhaustion levels you're using and when it would make sense, especially with data, to fade those levels. And this is classic exhaustion fade trading for me. Nice crude oil setup. I look for this every Wednesday. I look for this every crude oil inventories release day. Hope that helps. See you in the next update.